My nightmare stepdaughter kicked my pregnant stomach and said that she hopes that my baby dies, so my husband's daughter, Ava, is from my husband's first marriage. He was married to a kind woman who, after only 4 years of marriage, grew bored of him and cheated on him with many men. Despite this, he wanted to work things out with her, but she had already moved in with another man, taken Ava with her, and served him divorce papers along with a restraining order. She has also sent Ava to therapy, trying to brainwash her into thinking my husband was a neglectful father. My husband took this sack of poop to court to fight for joint custody but ultimately lost. He can only see her a few times a year. Immediately after winning, said sack of poop took Ava and moved to a different city almost 3 hours away with her new man. Since her birth in 2007, my husband has only seen Ava about a dozen times for special occasions or weddings. He technically still has custody of her, but not at all primary, only on paper. We met when I was 20 and he was 30. He was still in the middle of divorce papers and was wrecked from having to pay alimony along with child support and not being able to get any closure on his marriage or access to his daughter. We became good friends and hung out often until about a year into the friendship we decided to move in together. I needed a roommate, and he needed a roommate because he could no longer support himself living alone. We fell for each other gradually until we were in love, and after his finances were straightened out he proposed to me and we were married last year as I'd said before. Long story short, Ava's rent-a-womb broke it off with yet another man. Word of mouth is, she met another man online who lives an entire state away and wanted to go live with him. She left Ava with her parents who live in our city, but the maternal grandparents are old. They're old, weak, and though they like having their granddaughter around they can't raise her. So one day Ava literally just showed up on our doorstep and we've had to readjust our whole lives. For her, I've never had so much hatred for a 7-year-old in my life. I feel like poop. Ava is the rudest little girl I've ever seen. She has no manners and no consideration for anyone. She talks back to her father and gives him an attitude. She only smiles and acts lovingly when she wants something, like new toys or clothes she wants. When she found out she was to get a younger sibling, I let her rub my belly. Instead, she smacked me. She smacked my belly at random times when I walk past her and it makes me livid and drives me to tears. I tell her that it's unacceptable to hit anyone, especially her sibling, but she screams that I'm not her mom and I can't tell her what to do. I told my husband about her behavior and how she acts when he's not around, deliberately makes messes that I have to clean, draws on my paintings and books with markers, won't eat my home-cooked food but demands pizza and ice cream, and instead of scolding and disciplining her, he placates her and gets her what she wants. His idea of scolding is don't do that again, okay? It's like he's gone from being a dependable family man to a flaccid doormat of a father. I want to send her back to her sack of poop mother. Maybe she'd be better off in foster care, but at this point I don't care anymore. I've tried so hard to be a mother figure to this girl the best I can be, but this girl is beastly to me. I'm always walking by her with my hands around my belly in case she strikes me again. If this is how she is going to be, I don't want her to affect my unborn baby. She's already having a profound negative effect on my husband. I hate her stupid white trash mother for ripping her away from my husband, denying him access, and then dumping her on her parents and then onto us when she wanted some new out-of-state cock to ride. I know this girl is the consequence of her environment, it has to be, but I don't know what we can do at this point. I've never worked with behavioral children, and I've never dreamed that I'd be a wicked stepmother figure in the midst of being barefoot and pregnant. Update 1. Since I've started walking around with my hands casually on my belly when around Ava, she hasn't been hitting me as much as she used to. This morning over breakfast, in front of both my husband and me, Ava told me that I hope your baby dies. My husband had been asking her what she thinks we should name the baby. We came up with ways to try and include her in the pregnancy, and she said nothing. After my husband and I both took turns asking her, come on, you can think of a boy name and a girl name. She told me I hope your baby dies. I didn't say anything and let my husband discipline her. But as always, his idea of discipline is to say simply, you're a big girl, you shouldn't say those things. I asked him into the next room and asked that he be more firm with her, as she had been physically punching me in the belly and now it's looking like she'll be saying she hopes the baby dies. Sorry if that makes me immature and selfish, but I don't want to surround myself with that kind of negativity even if it comes from a 7-year-old. I'm going to ask my husband that I'll be going to live with my parents for a while, or if not, my sister. I want to finish the rest of my pregnancy in peace and without stress. The best thing for me right now is to protect the baby in my own belly.